Put your hands together for Mikael Page, people. Come on. Mikael Page.
What is up, everybody? Happy Sukkot. I hope everyone enjoyed it. Hope everybody enjoyed being in their sukkah with the palm fronds and shaking out the lulav and the etrog. You guys have no idea what I'm talking about. I should probably adjust myself. See, the thing, I'm kind of an insecure guy, and because of that, I like to sort of adjust my persona so that everybody's more comfortable with me, and I'm more comfortable with them. So after taking a look at this room tonight, I have decided that tonight I am a Hispanic auto technician named Miguel with a slightly effeminate stance. So if you'll just indulge me, I'm going to try and push through my insecurities and do some bits. So mi amigo Jose and I are at the shop, and he's working on the brake master cylinder. And you know how it is, he's removed the sensor, and he's working on the fluid line with his line wrench. And all of a sudden he starts yanking at the cylinder without even loosening the mounting bolt with his Astronomatic AST 0121 socket wrench. Like it's a limited edition Chrysler Imperial or something. So I'm like, Jose, no puedes arreglar no si no and he says, of course you would know something about proper suction. Oh, Jose. When will this dance between us come to an end? Well, I hope everybody's more comfortable with me now. I don't know why I'm so insecure. There's probably a bit of arrested development there. The thing is, when I was a very young child, my parents would strap me into the Jolly Jumper. You guys remember that thing? And the thing is, my father would only feed me on the downbeat. So now, when we go to a fancy restaurant, I start bouncing involuntarily when food comes to the table. Which, ladies, I can assure you, is way more adorable than it is embarrassing. Has everybody been enjoying the superhero movies that have been coming out this summer? I'm a big superhero movie fan. It kind of sucks that there's no like prominent Jewish superheroes to be like, latch onto as a role model. But here's the thing, I realize why this is. If there was a Jewish superhero in the city, no matter how hard he tried to keep his secret identity, every Jewish mother in the city would assume that he's theirs. You hear how Spider-Man tied up those bad guys? That was my boy. How do you know? I know. I don't know. No, I mean, I shouldn't blame my parents for everything. I have a great mother, and I love her. She's a wonderful lady. I don't think I have an edible complex, but if I was in some kind of Marty McFly situation, a couple of beers, you can forget you traveled back in time in a car. It sounds crazy when you say it out loud. No, I'm very close with my mother, and she still looks over my shoulder when I'm visiting while I'm like perusing my newsfeed on Facebook, and I have to explain to her that the sexy headshots of my friends are not just sent to me. I'm like, no, Mom, look, that's for everybody to masturbate to. I am a late sexual bloomer. I didn't have sex for the first time until I was in college, and up to that point I had barely even kissed a girl, which is kind of like never getting to play Call of Duty as a kid and then being dropped into the middle of a war zone. Exciting, but over very quickly. I don't need your sympathy, O's. No, and I just don't have any game, but it's because I hate the club. The club is a terrible place for human beings to be. But it's the only way to meet people because you can't just go up and grind your junk on a random stranger at Barnes & Noble, turns out. Turns out that's bad. So I bartend for Broadway shows. That's how I make a living. And, stop it, you're the real heroes. Everybody, no matter what you do, you sometimes see this person who you work with, who you're very attracted to, and you just know you have to say something. So one day I decided to go for it. I walk up to this girl and I'm like, Christine, we haven't said 2 words to each other since we've both been working here, but I think if you were to go out with me, you'd have a great time. She says, first of all, my name is not Christine, and that is the character that I play. And second of all, you should really get off stage before security gets you off stage. And that was it for me because I do not take mixed messages. So I am a bartender, which means I work for service wage. Does everybody know what that's like? Does anybody here know what I'm talking about, service wage? Yeah. It basically means you are working for less than living wage. In other words, less than what you need to live. How did that even start? I feel like it was like some wealthy guy was sitting at a cafe, had great service from his waiter, decided to give him a little extra on the side. Waiter is so happy, and the rich guy says, you know, that felt really good, but it would feel even better if his life depended on it. Service wage, I think it's a great system because we get tips. You get paid based on how good you are at your job, which I think is a great concept, which should be extended to everyone, like celebrities and bankers. Instead, what happened was we, the American people, went and sat down at a cafe, and the waiter came over, the bankers came over, said, what can I take for your order? We said, we'll have the clam chowder. A waiter comes back with our food, we eat it. Comes back a few minutes later with our check, is like, okay, here's the thing. That wasn't clam chowder, that was raw cactus and turtle semen. I saw the clam chowder at the window, I really wanted to have it, so I had it for myself and swapped it out with the said semen. And I really apologize, but it was an honest mistake, though you may want to see a doctor, and I hope you'll join us again. And we said, this is absolutely unconscionable behavior, you have put me at risk, and you have ruined my confidence in this establishment. Here's $700 billion. I hope this never happens again. So take that, 2008. I am retro topical. I am the first of my kind retro topical comic. Did anybody here see the debates? The debate, rather, there was the one. Did anybody see it at all? Anyone see it?
Yeah.
Thank you. Do you guys remember when they whipped their penises out and compared the sizes? Fun fact, Mitt Romney, bigger.
Oh.
I know, I was surprised too. Can you guys who didn't see it prove that I'm making that up? No, they kept talking about how small business is the cornerstone of our society, is the best kind of business. Guys, who cares if the business is big or small as long as it's good? Ladies, it's not the size of the business that counts. It's how you run it and whether you spread it overseas. And one other part I hate is how they hug their own families at the end. Like, I don't care if you love your own family. I think they should have to hug each other's family. Show some poise. And I think that would be great because I feel like one of the guys would linger a little too long with the wife. Who do you think it would be? Which one, Romney or Obama? Who'd linger longer?
Romney.
I think so too, because, you know, he's a very repressed guy, but once you get close to those shoulders, you're not going back, man. He's never had mocha. We know this for a fact. I know politics can be exhausting. I just think that people should get angrier about it sometimes. But I recently realized why people don't get up in arms about politics. Netflix. The cheapest drug in the United States. Do you guys realize when your friend says, let's get high and watch the X-Men cartoon from the 90s, that's completely redundant? Because whether you're high or not, after 6 hours, you're going to be like, I have no idea what just happened, but I am ready for season 2. That's what happens with Netflix. You watch it for an hour, and then you realize that 15 hours have gone by. I just think that soon, I feel like $8 a month, the government has to be subsidizing that. And pretty soon, they're going to give you suggestions on Netflix based on your political affiliation. Like, those who hate the 1% may also like Blood Diamond and Wall Street too. Thanks, Netflix. I'll go to that rally next week. Thank you guys very much.